So normally I do my opening spiel, but as you guys know from the previous episode, Alex is taking a minor break from the podcast for personal reasons. So we wish her the best. But in the meantime, I'm going to be doing a bunch of episodes with various guests. So for today's episode, I actually have a first-time guest on the show, Aaron from the Superpod Saga is coming. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing pretty well, man. I wish Alex the best, but yeah, I'm doing well. Excited to be here.
Thanks. And as I normally say every episode, how you been?
Uh, pretty good. I think is this my first time on your show? I think
Yes,
yeah.
you were supposed to be in the anime roundtable, but like last minute
Oh
scheduling
yeah.
conflict came up.
Yep, that's true.
Um, and then we just have kind of this episode we've been trying to do for a while. It's just been like life's been just tough because time zones kind of suck. But
They do suck.
yeah, because it's like 10 o'clock here right now. But
Holy shit.
I don't have to work tomorrow, so it's fine.
Oh nice. You can sleep in until noon tomorrow.
Yeah, for once. Yeah, I'm, this whole the end of the year always sucks because you're trying to get everything together and like re basically reset for next year.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I get that.
Plus, I'm planning 3 podcasts right now, which is always a fun time.
Oh, god damn. You're gonna have a busy next couple of months.
Yeah, I really do. I get how you feel now whenever you do your episodes with Tommy, like where you have to like find all these people out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's it's so tough, man. Like I've just been whenever this what is it? This next episode that's going to come out next week. I was like, "Okay, hey Tommy, are you ready to do this episode?" And he was like, "Oh crap, I'm still in Mexico." And I was like, "What?" And then this episode, like our newest one, I just scraped together like two people and I was like, "Hey, you guys want to do this?" They were like, "Yeah." Like, "All right." Just scraping together random people.
It's fun how the podcast community gets together like that nowadays. Like I swear, like everybody's collabing all of a sudden.
Yeah, we got Thrak and everything now.
Yep.
Once an innocent bystander, he's now I guess was a contender to the Carnage, the podcasting Carnage.
Yeah. One moment he's talking about 3D, and the next he's in fucking everything. Shout out to Thrak.
For real.
Oh man. But yeah, so other than that though, it's been pretty chill. I haven't really been playing any games because I just haven't had time, and that's the unfortunate part of life.
Dude, yeah, I get that. It's
I
a
want
lot
to
going
play
on.
I want to play Star Ocean, the remake that just came out, but it's like I need to actually be like dedicated to play an RPG, and I just don't have the dedication for that at the moment.
I I want to get it too, but I keep telling myself no, I have to beat the first Star Ocean before I move on to the second one or even the third one. Like I just bought the third one for the PS2, which is surprisingly super fucking cheap. Oh, fly just flew by my camera right there. That was huge. Um yeah, I do need to play those. Get off of there.
Yeah, PS2 games are oddly cheap. Like some of them are stupidly expensive, but the rest are like you can get like for like a dime a dozen. It's an interesting console to collect for right now.
Oh, and what is it? Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube. Well, I guess that's not surprisingly cheap because they had the remaster, but that one was like maybe $15 because I got the greatest hits version because I don't give a goddamn.
That's actually pretty bizarre because GameCube games are absurdly expensive right now for no reason. I guess because it's the greatest hits.
Yeah, I'm sure if it was anything else, like something that wasn't remastered, like Eternal Darkness or what's another one that's on my wish list?
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna.
even the Byte and Kato's games are like stupidly expensive, and that just got a remaster too.
Oof, that's true. I bought that one for $60 a while ago. I'm so glad I picked. Well, fuck. I guess the Origins one is still super expensive.
Mm. I mean, and then
No.
Fire Emblem Path to Radiance is still absurdly expensive for no reason.
I'm never gonna own that game. I've just accepted that fact. I'm never gonna own that game.
You know what the worst part about that game is for me? I
Hmm,
bought that right after I played Awakening, so this was during the Fire Emblem like boom, where like
yeah.
all of a sudden everyone cared about Fire Emblem. So I paid $200 for that game back in
God damn.
2014, and then the price sank down to like $90, and I was pissed. And I was like,
What the fuck?
but now it's back up to like 300. So
Oh, I wish I would have picked up on that when it was $90. Fuck.
yeah, there was like this really brief period where like I would go into a retro store and I'd see it on the shelf for $90, and I'd just be like looking at it like, son of a bitch. Like, yeah.
There was a period there before COVID. I want to say like what 2017 to like 2020. I want to say some GameCube games were pretty cheap. Like Wario World, I got that for like $30 back in around that time, and like Custom Robo that ran me like $30. But now they've oh Pokemon Coliseum I got for $25 at a garage sale, and now that one's like fucking $200, which is
That I don't understand because those games
that's
aren't even that good.
yeah, like it's got a boppy soundtrack, but that's really all it has going for it.
I found both Coliseum and XD in a GameStop bargain bin for $5 a piece. So that's that's how different it was back in the day.
Oh god, I don't get it.
No, it's the internet and collectors and I don't know. But anyways, so moving on to our topic for this episode, we're actually going to be so me and Alex had talked about this topic way back in our first season of the podcast, and we kind of fell off from it for a while. But one of our goals with this season was we wanted to revisit a bunch of old topics and give kind of more in-depth discussions on it. Unfortunately, Alex couldn't be here for this one, but she gave me the okay to go forward with it. So we're actually going to be revisiting the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, and I
Hell
figure
yeah.
I figure the best way to start is actually to ask Aaron, like, how did you get into Yu-Gi-Oh for the first time?
Fuck, how didn't I? Oh man. So, I think I first started with the card game. I think I remember. So growing up in rural Iowa, we didn't have like big well, I guess we didn't have big card stores. I guess I was a kid, so I wouldn't fucking know. What am I? I first came across the card game at a local gas station called Casey's down here in the Midwest, and I bought what is it? I had some money, like allowance money, and I bought a couple of packs. And I remember one of the first packs I ever got had Hungry Burger in it, of all cards. Just a 6-star dumb ritual monster. It's a hamburger with like really sharp teeth and a tongue. He's going like blah. And that was the first time I ever got into the card game. And then from there on, I don't think I got to watch the show until like for the longest time we didn't get Kids WB. Yeah,
Hmm.
and like one day I decided to like rearrange my room for whatever reason, and I turned on my TV one time, and I was like, oh shit, what's this new channel I have now? And then sure enough, it's playing Pokemon, and I was like, dude, I can watch fucking Yu-Gi-Oh now on Saturday mornings, and then boom, that was it.
Yeah, back in the day when you could actually move the antenna to find different channels.
Kind of miss those days, but like I don't because we always have all the channels now. You don't have to
Well,
move the antennas; it's just there.
now if you want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, you just go on YouTube and it's probably there.
Now you can even watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 or whatever it's called on YouTube, like, for
Oh yeah,
free.
the toy animated one that's kind of a prequel, but it also doesn't connect really because
It's
I don't know.
it's so fucking dark. We'll get to that in a little bit. I've only watched, like, 1 episode of it, but it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like a completely different show. Um, so I guess to give my backstory on how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh was like literally everywhere during like the early 2000s. Like you couldn't like so like Magic the Gathering was popular, but it was never like the mainstream success it is nowadays back in the day.
Yeah.
But Yu-Gi-Oh was like a cultural phenomenon. Like it was right up there with Pokemon in terms of like I still remember like the kids at school having like they didn't even play the game. They just had their giant binders full of like, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and they just be like, kind of like being like, look at my cards, just showing people, and it's like, oh, cool. Do you want to play? And they're like, no. It's
How
like,
do you play?
like y- you get the confused like it was kind of like Pokemon. You'd get the confused like play. um, so I remember really wanting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but we didn't really have the money back in the day for that kind of stuff, and
Mm.
it was kind of one of those things where I had to kind of to make do with what I had. So I remember McDonald's did a promotion where you could get a Yu-Gi-Oh card in your
Oh,
Happy
no
Meal,
shit.
and I still have it. I still have it to this day. But I remember the first card I ever got.
Oh, dude, put it closer to the camera. I forget that thing's name.
Yoranzo, I think its name is.
Okay, that sounds right, yeah. He was in
Does
Dungeon Dice Monsters. Ooh,
yes, he
we'll get to
was.
that too.
Yes, he was. So yeah, I remember I got this and it was like holographic, and I was like, wow. I'm like, and then I remember having this one card and taking it to school, and the guy's like, I have a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Can I be cool now? And everyone just looked at it and they were like,
Do you have a single card?
yep. And everyone was like, that card sucks. And I was just like, well, thanks. And I just kind of like went back to my corner after that.
That's
But
gotta be worth that's gotta be worth at least something nowadays. Have you ever looked it up?
you can get Yoranzo holographic on eBay for like $5, I think.
Even the
I
McDonald's one?
so there's no like real like there's no like code or anything on it that says it came from McDonald's. So I don't even know if you'd be able to prove that or not.
Usually it'd be to the bottom right, like underneath the picture, it'd say like what series it's from. I'm gonna pull up my fucking app real fast.
Hmm.
How is it spelled? Your YAR. Oh, I already found it. Okay. Pack. It doesn't show the McDonald's thing. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't think they even remember that, to be honest. Honestly, I feel like they were just regular cards.
Damn. Oh man. Yep. He goes for yeah, roughly $5.
Yep. Oh man.
Damn it.
What's What's funny though is like after I got that one card and like I was kind of like really into it, my parents eventually like they gave in and they decided to get me one of the starter decks, and
Nice.
I so it was weird. There was four starter decks you could get. There was the Yugi deck, the Kaiba deck, the Pegasus deck, and the Joey deck.
Yep.
I swear to God, though, I never for the life of me ever saw the Kaiba or Yugi deck like
What?
anywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I only ever saw Joey and Pegasus. Like, I don't know if this was just a New England thing or like I was a kid and I just didn't notice or something. But I swear, I never saw the Kaiba or Yugi decks in person. Um, so I remember like for whatever reason, couldn't decide which one I wanted, but I think like the anime was on, and that was during the Pegasus arc,
Ooh, yeah.
and I really wanted the Pegasus deck. Then I found out though Toon World and all the Toon monsters kind of suck and they're not actually that useful. Um, but yeah, I had the Pegasus deck as my starter deck, and it was enough to get by.
Yeah, big twist though. The tunes are super fucking good now.
I,
They've got so much support and searchability, dude. Like they're super good now.
mm, I believe it because the game has changed a lot in the like I have my deck over here, and like literally I was looking through it before we started recording. I'm like, half of these cards are illegal, most of them don't even work anymore. I was like, I'm so out of touch with modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Like if I ever play, we always play classic rules just because it's easy to remember.
Dude, you should get into Master Duel. It's on like everything, even phones now. And they've got
Mm,
they of course have like a tutorial mode, but they also have what's called a solo mode where you fight different deck archetypes and you'll learn little bits about them and unlock new cards and shit. But um, that's what is it? So I started with Yu-Gi-Oh like at the very beginning. Like I think I got it was those first 2 packs I got, and then I got start the Yugi starter deck, and then blah, and then I fell off the game somewhere. I think during like the 5Ds when they brought out like synchro monsters and stuff. I stopped there for a little bit, picked the game back up, I think, around when Xyz monsters were a thing, because I played, oh, there was one Yu-Gi-Oh game I played on Xbox. I think it was, like, Legacy of the Duelist, and then
Original Xbox.
no, on, the Xbox One, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
360 or One, I forget.
I think I know which one you're talking about. There's
And
so many
then
Yu-Gi-Oh games.
but yeah, because I kept, like, going back to the games, I kind of learned the new mechanics, even though, like, they're still kind of confusing a little bit depending on what kinda deck type you go with, but it's surprisingly, I don't wanna say easy to learn, but, like, yeah, the summoning mechanics are easy to learn, the rest of it is difficult and stupid.
Yeah, I think the problem is like the funnest way for me to play like a card game is in person, but like I can't find anyone nowadays who wants to play these games in person.
Do you ha do they not have, like, tournaments in your area anymore, or, like, little shops where you can go to, like, play with people or anything? Or are they all Magic dudes now?
It's mostly Magic. I haven't
Damn it.
honestly, Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of gone into that obscurity thing where it's kind of like it's like Pokemon where like people like it, but you never see it as like the forefront game.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Or
convinced people still don't know how to play Pokemon, but
do you remember that, this is off topic, do you remember that, like, Harry Potter card game that they tried to make popular for a little while? Like, I had a good bunch of those, and I was like, "Dude, this game is sick," and then I just, for whatever reason, just stopped playing.
I,
It
I
was
swear
stupid.
I swear everything had a card game back in the day because my buddy Matt, I was talking to him and he was saying how he had the Dragon Ball Z card game,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which was apparently the power scaling in that game was fucking ridiculous.
Oh, what else was there? There was,
No, there was Duel Masters, which was
oh,
just
yeah! Oh my god, Duel Masters, where, like, every card was a mana card, you just had to tip it upside down.
it was
Get
like
into
literally
the battle zone.
it was literally just Wizards of the Coast trying to cash in on the Yu-Gi-Oh craze, and they were like, let's just make Magic but make it Yu-Gi-Oh, but
God,
not as good.
dude, oh my god, I had a pretty bitchin' Duel Masters deck back in the day. I forget what the big dragon dude's name was, like, the big boss monster guy, but, oh my god, that shit was, like, it was fun for a little bit.
Mm. Yeah,
But
I think I fell out of Yu-Gi-Oh right around when the anime changed over to GX, and I think it didn't.
oh, man.
I don't even think it had to do with the card game. I think it was just the anime changed and I lost interest. Honestly,
GX is pretty bitchin' though. I think, the original and GX are still for sure tops, like, top maybe, like, 1 and 2, it's hard to, but the rest of them are pretty, they're pretty alright, like,
mm,
what is it? 5Ds gets pretty dark, and it's kinda cool in parts. Zexal has a super slow start, and it's mostly alright. Arc 5, holy fucking mother of God, there is so much happening in that show all the time, and then I haven't watched the other ones because there's, like, what, Brains and Sevens, and then there's another one coming out?
yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
really confusing. It's funny because like the last Yu-Gi-Oh media that I watched was I saw the film Dark Side of
Oh,
Dimensions.
fuck yeah, with the Sphinxes or whatever?
That was the one that was like it was a continuation of the original series, and it had like it was like Yugi, Joey, all of them again. Um, I remember. I always remember that film just because that's the movie where Kaiba is a fucking dork the entire movie.
Dude, Kaiba's always a dork, he's a little bitch.
Isn't that's the movie that ends with Kaiba making a time machine just to go back in time to fight Atem because he's
Oh my
that much of a dork.
my favorite my favorite little bitch Kaiba moment is, in the original series. Well, of course, in the original series, but, like, there's this one part in Duelist Kingdom where, he and Yugi are dueling, and Kaiba's about to lose, so he's like, "Yugi, if you beat me, I'll fucking kill myself," and he's, like, standing on the edge of this cliff or whatever. It's like,
Oh yeah,
"Okay, well
and
then."
the Pharaoh's all for it. He's like, okay, and then
Yeah,
Yugi. That
Yugi,
was
no!
that
Fucking
was the start of Yugi's whole like depression arc in that
yep.
show. The
God
original
damn it.
Duelist Kingdom arc is fucking hilarious because of how it there was no rules. They just made shit
Yeah.
up as they went along.
This oh my god, oh, what is it? What's the dark dude's name? Panic. When he's fighting Panic, uh, he has that card Castle of Dark
Oh,
Illusions,
let's
and
launch the catapult turtle and destroy its flotation ring to crush all of the monsters below because that totally works.
yeah, and then and not even and then he's like, "Oh, the Castle of Dark Illusions makes my field dark," which is absolutely not what that fucking card does. Totally unrelated. And yeah, he fucking launches Guy of the Dragon Champion at it, and fucking Grand Theft Autos that shit. That's so stupid.
Or when they just play random fusion monsters without polymerization ever, and it'd always be like, yeah. And then they'd fuse monsters that didn't even fuse half the time.
Yeah, and then they didn't use tributes. They just yeah, they made shit up all the time. Like the fucking Mako Tsunami and he plays the moon card so the tide recedes. Like I, no.
Yep. My favorite is the one with the double duel where they play Labyrinth Wall, and it's like that's not how Labyrinth Wall works at all. But
Yeah.
okay,
It's stupid as shit. I love it so much.
we're just playing a board game now because we can.
Basically. Oh
Uh,
man, or okay, another really fucking stupid one. What was it? Rex Joey against Rex Raptor, and he's like, "Oh, I play Time Wizard, and then I use this effect, so everything on your field becomes old, and because they're dinosaurs, they become really old to the point where they're fossilized, and then they just fall apart and fucking die." And it's like, "Go, Joey!"
yeah,
Whatever.
Joey's character arc was like the fucking funniest one because he was always like he could never catch a fucking break except for like the one time he did, and then he still got screwed in the end.
Yeah, he made it pretty far. He got to like what the semifinals or whatever. No, and then yeah, no, he still got his money. He got to choose between like money and fighting Pegasus, and he was like, no, Yugi was like, here, Joe, you take the money. Oh yeah, you got it, Yug, and then yeah.
I remember that because it was like complete like bullshit out of nowhere. Like he was like about to beat Yugi, and then Yugi's like, "Ah, surprise! Dark Magician's old, which made him stronger now." And it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
that, and then I forget. No, yeah, it's when Yugi is dueling Pegasus. Um, Yugi comes across the magician of Black Chaos. He was like, or no, it's that or Blackluster Soldier. He's like, "Wow, I didn't know this was even in my deck." You're like, "I'm gonna play this." It's like,
how
bro,
did yeah?
you've been
How
on
did
this
you not
island.
know?
You've been on this island for like a month. How did you not know this card was in your? You built this fucking deck, didn't you? You've seen him shuffling his deck like 30,000 times. Like you have to know it's in there. What the fuck do you mean?
They just pull random cards out of nowhere and be like, "Oh, this card that'll conveniently work now."
It's so funny to look at cards then and cards now because like cards then were just like basic bitch stuff. Like you had Silverfang, which is just a normal monster, like a wolf with 1200 attack, or like fucking Garuzis, which is like a lizard man, level 5
Yep.
with 1800 attack. And then now you get like fucking any fucking triple D pendulum fusion monster that has like paragraphs of text, and it's crazy. It's crazy how far the game has come.
Oh yeah, it's like it's funny to me too because I remember like back in like the playground days of like elementary school. Um, you get like all the kids trading cards or like showing off their like rare cards. And I always remember like you'd have the one kid that had a piece of Exodia. Like it wasn't even all of
Oh
Exodia.
yeah.
It was like his leg. And it was like, look at me, I'm the king shit. I've got his leg. And it's like, ooh, like what are you gonna do
Fucking
with it?
leg. Are you
I remember
oh go ahead.
no, you go on.
I was gonna say, are you more of a dark magician guy or a blue eyes guy?
I'm actually a red eyes guy.
Red eyes guy, okay, that's good too. That's a good one. I'm a dark magician guy. Dark magician's pretty bitchin'.
I think so this is why I was always bummed that I picked Pegasus over Joey because like I ended up loving the Red Eyes Black Dragon as my
Yeah.
my deck back in the day. I mean, it still is now because I haven't rebuilt it, but it was like mostly dragons. I really
Hell
like the
yeah.
dragon cards.
They're
I have like
surprisingly
there's like hundreds of them now, and like there's like
yeah.
12 different versions of Red Eyes now.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
kind of funny.
whole Red Eyes archetype now. They've got dragons are still super fucking good nowadays. Like one of the top in Master Duel, like one of the top decks or top meta decks is one called Dragon Link, which is just different generic dragon cards that you blink summon or you use to link summon bigger Dragon Link monsters and shit. So I'm telling you, dude, get on Master Duel and learn this shit, and
Hmm.
you could play with all the red eyes and all that shit because there's all sorts of like really wonky, goofy archetypes. Like one of my favorites is I have this one deck that's a mix of mutant and thunder dragon, and the thunder dragons have this one big guy that his effect is he keeps your opponent from adding any cards from their deck to the hand, which just shuts like fucking everybody down, and it's great. It's
Hmm.
so fun.
I always remember like back in the day too, if you had a blue eyes, you were like considered like really cool because blue eyes I guess were hard to find unless you bought like the kind of a starter deck,
Yeah, that and
which
I think Blue Eyes was the strongest monster there for a while because like Dark Magician, you had to either boost his attack with something or you were just dead. Like there was nothing you could do to beat Blue Eyes. I guess I
I
mean
think
there were spells, but yeah.
I think it was the strongest like base monster, like not like a ritual or a fusion. Because thinking about it now, like he was pretty like 3,000 attack was pretty cool at the time. They keep changing his card art though, and I don't know how to
Yeah.
feel about that. 'Cause
There's like 5 of them, I think.
I've got three different ones right here.
Oh hell yeah.
Like I got the classic, and then that one. I remember this one, like the second iteration for a long time. I've got like four of this one though, just chilling because you can find blue eyes white dragons everywhere now.
Yeah, that last one you showed me, they gave that one out in Shonen Jumps. I forget which year, but yeah, that one that and then there was a new art for Dark Magician. No,
This
it was either in
this one,
Shonen Jumps. Yeah, it was either Shonen Jumps or, new starter decks, I forget, something like that. They just gave
it
them
might
out.
have been the it might have been the new starter decks. I know they redid all the art recently for like a lot of the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I always remember stuff like that. Like, and then like when they started adding like special cards. Like I still remember like when you got around to like the shadow, the dark or whatever the second battle city. That's what it was.
Yeah, yep.
And then the Egyptian god cards became like the big thing. And I remember like you'd have like one or two kids in the school that would have those, and they'd be all like, "Look at me, I'm cool." And it's like, how come it says you can't play this in a duel on the card? And they'd all be like, "It doesn't say that," and they just cover it up. And I'm always like, yeah, because
Wait,
you had to pay extra if you wanted the ones that could actually be played in a duel.
that's right. That's, I forget how you even got those. I know there were, like, some much later that they gave out with Shonen Jump, but I
Yeah,
forget how you actually got the god cards.
I know the you could get them on like magazine order or like with I think they came with like a DVD set or a game at one point,
That sounds right.
but they were the the ones with the colored backs that you can't
Oh,
use in
yeah.
you can't use them in an actual duel because they're considered illegal for whatever reason. Um, because instead, if you want to play them, you have to get the ones that are just that look like regular cards.
Yep, 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 and they have actual effects, like oh, man, I know for sure Ra has, like, his own fucking almost full archetype now, so he has, like, 5 different forms, but Slifer and Obelisk are just basic bitches still, but I mean,
Yeah,
they're still pretty good. I still like Obelisk probably is, like, the more safer one.
Obelisk
Slifer's
was Slifer's my favorite out of the three.
yeah.
Just because I love his gimmick the most, where it's like how many cards you have in your hand is how many attack points he has. Have fun.
Yeah, and he had that one thing too where it was like if your opponent summons a monster and their attack is less than Slifer's, he just fucking obliterates it.
Yeah,
And
they were kind
Slifer
of
was oh, go ahead.
they were- they were kind of broken when they first came out.
Fucking Slifer was huge in the anime too, like, there was that was it Yugi was dueling, I think, Bakura on the
Yeah, on the
blimp in
blimp.
Battle City? Yeah, and Slifer was wrapped all the way around that motherfucker, it's like, that's sick as hell.
I still remember Slifer's introduction episode with the mime, and
Yep,
you
strings.
Yugi gets him in a fucking infinite loop and just fucking game ends because he
Yeah.
ran out of cards.
Yeah, dude. Fuck, what was it? It was Revival Jam and, what was that card of Safe Return?
It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that
yeah.
one, then Jam Defender, and then the Jam token thing. It was like this weird combination. And he's like, it's unbeatable. And then it's like, fuck you, Karibo. Once again, always seems to be this my go-to.
Fuck, this one fly keeps landing on my mic, and I apologize if he keeps buzzing into it, but he won't leave me alone. Um, yeah, there was Battle City is fuck, I must have rewatched Battle City so many times. That's my favorite arc in, like, the entirety of any fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Series ever. It's so fun to go back and watch that one.
I love the start of it because it's like they immediately are like, oh yeah, by the way, these are the rules to the game that we actually just have to just ignoring for an entire season. Yeah, you have to follow these now. Bye. And it's like,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, fucking Joey, this dumb fucking troglodyte tries to play fucking Flame Swordsman. One, without fusing it, and two, without using a tribute because it's fucking 5 star. And they're or I forget who it was that enforces the rules, but they're like, no, no, you
Oh,
can't fucking do that.
it was the fake psychic.
Oh, yeah,
Esperosa, I think was his name.
that sounds right.
I remember because he
With the
did
little
that, and
kids.
yeah, they were watching him up on the top of the building.
Yeah.
Because that's how we got Jinzo. I think
Oh,
that's what it was.
yep, 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 yep,
I
yep.
just always remember that scene because that was the scene where his sister was in the hospital, and like Tristan's like, I think your brother just fucked up here. He's like, it's like great, way to go, Joey.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh shit. And
That was a fun season. Like
it
even though
was
the virtual world arc still comes out of fucking nowhere, but
yeah, that shit is still meh. I don't care about the virtual world stuff
I
as
love the
much.
idea. I like the idea of the virtual world just because of the fact that Merrick just fucking chilled the entire time, and it was like,
Yeah,
okay,
for real. Like what was he doing the entire
just chilling in the jet. That was about it.
Oh
Uh,
man. It was so weird how like well, not weird. It was cool how um like the running thing throughout the whole show was like whenever you beat someone you get to take their strongest card. So Joey had all these cards that he amassed throughout the whole thing. He had what legendary fisherman, the insect queen, Jinzo,
Jinzo.
and like a bunch of others. But all Yugi seemed to get was fucking Slifer, and that's all he gave a goddamn about because he would
Well,
just
he had Red Eyes too the entire season, but he never used. He used it
oh
once
yeah.
during the brainwashing arc.
Yep. Yugi or no, Joey, come to your senses. Here's your monster. You oh saw you or I tried to do Joey's accent, but I almost sounded like a toddler there. Oh, sorry there, Yug.
You
Fuck.
just got to do a really bad Brooklyn accent.
I almost made it sound like a baby. Sorry, Woogie. Um,
Yeah, I
fuck.
remember because he doesn't get Red Eyes back until Waking the Dragons. That fucking whatever that arc was supposed to be.
Ooh, yeah, that one was like almost cool. I like the idea of fusing their dragons with whatever to make whatever.
I
But
like
I
that one, other than the fact that like Yugi's grandfather gets fucking owned like within episode one, and I was like, again, like okay.
put this fucker in a home, dude, please.
It was like he's out there like displaying the god cards, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna go well. And it's like, oh, they're stolen now. Great. That entire last season, pointless at this
Oh my
point.
god. And then Yugi goes into depression again because he loses against the dude who has, like, Guardian Growl and all that shit, and Yugi's like, "Oh, I lost, but I'm the king of games. Oh, man."
And
And
then
then Joey
Yugi gets sealed away, but Yami's still around. It's like,
yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense, but, like, it's Yu-Gi-Oh!
yeah. We mentioned it earlier, but going back, Dungeon Dice Monsters. Did you ever actually play the game itself, or did you just watch the episode?
We it's weird. I had the GBA game,
The GVA game. That
and
was.
I had, like, the actual physical game, but I never played the physical game because nobody wanted to play it with me,
It was
but
too confusing.
it was like I don't even know how it fucking worked. You rolled dice and you collected symbols for things, but I don't remember anything else about it. Get out of here, fly.
I'm convinced that episode was supposed to be like a soft, like pilot for a spin-off series that like just flopped hard and didn't go anywhere. That whole
Dude,
episode is dumb. Like,
oh, yeah, he makes Joey his little bitch. He has him in that, like, dog costume, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, lick my boots," or whatever. Joey's like, "No," and Yugi's like, "Hey, Duke, fuck you. I'll duel you, and if I win, fuck you." And then
yeah, and
he
it's
beats him,
the
of
whole
course.
and he's all like butthurt about his game not getting picked up, and then the episode ends. It's like, oh yeah, they're picking up your game, by the way, and then we never hear about it again.
Never. And, what is it? Was it you see Duke, actually dueling in an episode during that, like, Waking the Dragons bullshit, and his deck is based on, like, monster no, what was it? It had a bunch of dice cards and, like, monsters from Dungeon Dice Monsters, like Thunderball and shit like that,
Yeah,
but he gets his a it's was it it's they 3v1 the robot guy. It was, like, Duke, um, Tristan, and I think Taya, and they were 3v1ing the dude who had this deck that put robot armor on him, and he fought as a monster or something, but they all lost because 'cause they're stupid.
that was such a filler arc too. Like you could tell all of that was just like we need to wait a season before we can move on with the plot. So let's just do this weird dragon bullshit.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. Wasn't
Yeah.
yeah,
Now that I think about it, Duke stayed on the jet too while they were in the virtual world because he was around there.
that's true, and was yeah, May or Mai was still in a coma or whatever
Oh yeah, yeah. She
during
was
that time too, wasn't she? She's in the Shadow Realm, that's right, yeah.
yeah, and then they fucking did it to her again in the dragon shit. I was like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah, she got fucking brainwashed or whatever, yeah.
No, that
She sucks. She gets her ass annihilated in Duelist Kingdom, and then she gets sent to the Shadow Realm, and then she gets annihilated by the armor dude in that one, and then yeah, my is terrible.
yeah, and then she just disappears and we never see her again.
Yep, yep.
I'm trying to. Do you remember the episode in season? Because you remember after Duelist Kingdom ended, they had all those weird filler episodes that were just random.
I I kn I think there was one where Yugi dueled this little girl with a teddy bear, I think?
Yeah, the who comes back later on, but she had. I guess it was her grandfather had the blue eyes originally that Kaiba ripped in half or
Oh,
some shit like
yeah,
that.
yep. And she was
It
mad
was
at Yugi
basically
for doing that or
yeah,
something.
it was basically just all backstory for uh Solomon, I guess. Um,
Oh, yeah, that's right. 'Cause her grandpa and Yugi's grandpa are archaeologists or something
yeah,
together, and
they were like buddies.
that's right. Oh god.
See, I out of the episodes at the end, the one I remember the most was the virtual world episode where they went in the computer game. This is the first time they went in a
Yep.
virtual world. Um, yeah, because they like Kaiba was playing some game and his company, the people that he never seems to fire are always trying to like kill him, and it's like I remember that because that whole like they meet like all the people in the game and they're like just like random RPG mobs for no reason.
Do you remember that one episode where, uh, fuck, what was it? Yeah, Bakura and Yugi are playing, and Bakura it's in Duelist Kingdom. Bakura turns Yugi's friends into cards or turns them into
Oh,
monsters in the
right. Yep.
cards. So like little Yugi is Dark Magician, uh, Joey's Flame Swordsman, Taya is like Magician of Faith, and then Tristan is like a Cyber Commander or something worthless.
Yep.
He's like, "What are your favorite cards?" And then Tristan's like, "Cyber Commander," which has like 800 attack and like 500 defense, and
I think the one
so
Taya picked was the worst one because I think it was like yeah, Magician of Faith is pretty bad.
it had a pretty good effect for the time. But yeah,
True.
it's
Oh yeah,
stupid now.
it was an effect card. I forgot about that.
Man, that was a
Oh yeah,
quote.
because that's the episode where they first have the reveal of like, oh yeah, Yugi and Yami are two separate characters.
Yep, yep. Because yeah, and then he's fighting like Yami Bakura, and they still couldn't understand that. Like, that Bakura had Yami Bakura, they were always like, "Oh, hey, Bakura, like, what happened to you, man? Where'd you go?" And he'd just be like, "Oh, hey, I'm just normal, soft-spoken, Bakura," and then he'd go evil, and then they'd be like, "Why are you doing this?" Like, dude, just fucking I don't know. It's so
That damn
dumb.
that damn ring was just a fucking. They actually gave the damn ring a backstory in Dark Side of Dimensions too, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, man. Was
Did-
I don't remember. Was Dark Side of was that the one where, Yugi, Jaden, and Yusei all dueled against, like, some big guy, or was that a different movie?
That was a different movie. This was like a continuation of the original series. Like it basically followed them after the conclusion of like basically Yugi got rid of the basically right after the puzzle gets like sent back to the Earth and all the Millennium items are gone.
Huh. I've never heard of this one.
It came out a couple of years back. It's cool because they got all the voice.
Damn! 2016? Holy shit.
Yeah, they got all the
No
voice actors
shit.
back too, which is cool. Like they got Dan Green, Eric Stewart, like basically all the classic voices.
God, no wonder I haven't heard of that one. I for sure remember like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie with, like,
Oh, Pyramid of Light.
yeah, because it came with those sweet ass cards that kind of fucking suck. Like, was it Pyramid of Light?
The Pyramid
And
of Light
then
card was completely useless. There was the two Egyptian cards that the villain had, and then there was Blue Eyes Shining Dragon.
oh no, there was yeah, it was Blue Eyes Shining, a Pyramid of Light, and then there were the 3 Sphinxes because there was, like, the 2 separate ones. There's
Right,
Andro
right.
Sphinx, Sphinx, like, Tainin or something stupid, and then, like, the one with the super long name, it was, like I don't remember, but he was, like, the 2 mashed together. He had a bitchin' effect, but he was, like, impossible to summon because you needed Pyramid of Light on the field, which does nothing. Um,
I, I
yeah.
remember that because you got those cards by going to see the movie, but you didn't get Pyramid of Light. You got that with the actual home video release. See, you'd
Yeah.
get those cards at the theater and be like, "These are cool. Too bad you can't play them until we release Pyramid of Light."
Oh my
I
god.
forget how you got Shining Dragon. That might have also been a theater card,
I'm
maybe.
pretty sure it was. That or, like, with the movie, I one of those.
I think it was because I remember because so I went to see Pyramid of Light with my mom way back in the day.
Nice.
She fell
She
asleep
fell
during the movie.
asleep.
Yep, I don't blame her. That movie is so we actually
Yeah, it's
rewatched
stupid.
that movie very recently. Me and Alex fell asleep watching it as well because it is not a great film at all. But I remember because I got Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, then my mom got her card too, and she just gave me the card. I think it was one of the Sphinx cards.
Oh my god.
I
There's
remember that.
do you remember, yeah, no, I think we talked about earlier too, the one where, like, Dark Magician is old, Dark Sage. He
Dark Sage.
fucking he fucking sucks now because like, you have to have Dark Magician and Time Wizard, and, like, you have to get
Hmm.
the coin toss right with Time Wizard, and, like, yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, that and Monster Reborn is just not allowed anymore because it's too broken.
Actually, it is now, it's just limited.
Oh, they brought it back. Well, isn't there? It's Monster Reborn and there's Monster Reincarnation, which is
Reincarnation sucks, yeah.
yeah, which is just they nerfed it because you back in the day, like Monster One, you could like it was literally you could bring back any monster from
Yeah.
you or your opponent's graveyard. It's like, oh, that's not broken at all. That's not going to cause destroy friendships.
They just recently undid a bunch of that, like, Monster Reborn, um, Change of Heart. Do you remember
Oh yeah,
Raigeki? The
yep.
thunder one that destroys all your opponent's monsters? And Harpy's Feather Duster, they made all those all like, they're legal, but you can only have 1 of each.
Is
So,
pot of greed still illegal?
yeah,
Or did they
that's
bro?
still legal for sure, yeah.
Damn, I love pot
It's
of greed.
something about, like, hand advantage. So even, like, do you remember Graceful Charity?
Hmm.
You, like, draw 3, discard 2, that's still banned. Um, I can't think of another good one that's banned, but they banned a lot of, like, weird cards.
Most of my deck was banned because I had so many old cards.
What's Did you ever make, like, multiple decks, or did you only have, like, the one the entire time?
So I have my main one that I've had forever.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of side ones that I threw together. I just never used them though, because you kind of like get you kind of get like kind of like you fall into your ways with like those cards, and you kind of just love the one you have.
Oh, yeah.
I have some side cards like that I'll like swap out every now and then for other cards, like because I have because I have my red eyes obsession. I have the metal dragon in there as well, so I'll occasionally throw in a few other metal morph monsters every now and then just to kind of go with it.
Oh, like Zoa.
Yeah, I have a Zoa, Metal Zoa. I always love that episode where uh what was the Bandit Keith? He's like he's doing his duel and he like drops the card purposely on the thing. He's like, "Oops, please, you didn't see that." It's like, "Yeah, we did. Everyone saw what you're doing there." Um yeah, I have a few like that. Basically a lot of my deck decisions kind of revolve around like Red Eyes Black Dragon because like I also have like I've got Summon Skull in the deck because I want to if I want to do
Oh,
like
hell yeah. Black
Black
Skull
Skull
Dragon.
Dragon. Yeah, all sorts of those. Basically, any sort of like combinations. Like one of my favorite like summons I have. I only ever did it once because it's the most pain in the ass like fusion to do. But
Yeah.
it's Dragon Master Knight.
Oh my fucking god, yeah, for sure.
The amount of fucking setup you need to summon this thing, it's not even worth it. But it's fun when you actually can pull it off because you need the 3 blue eyes. You got to fuse them into Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Then
Yep.
you need to do Blackluster Knight or Blackluster Soldier, whatever its name is. You got to get him on the field. Then you need to fuse them again to get this guy. It's like the amount of setups, like not where you'll have more luck getting Exodia, like pulling off an Exodia a win or whatever.
How much attack does that think you would have, the Dragon Master Knight? It's like 5,000, isn't it?
So it's 5,000, but you gain 500 for every dragon monster on the field.
But oh man. So
So
you could bring back your yeah, your 3 blue eyes and your blue eyes ultimate and get like what, 2,000 there? Holy
I
shit.
I think in the anime for that episode, because they had all the dragons on the field when they were promoting that card, I think it ended up being like 9,000 attack, and it was like holy shit.
Oh, back in the day when a group of friends and I would play the game, we all had like our main decks. We also had like a bunch of side decks as well too. Like my main deck for the longest time was Battery Men. Like back in the day, Battery Men used to be so fucking good. Then I also had, oh man, I think I had an Alien deck. Um oh, what else was there? Alien. I had a pretty good insect deck. I forget what else I had.
You know, one of my favorite card sets that I just like adored, even though it's not a dragon at all.
What?
The the Magnet Warriors.
Oh, yeah, the Magnet Warrior. They did a lot more with those too. They have a lot more. They have Alpha, Beta. They have, like, Delta, the Magnet Warrior now, and they've done a lot more with those. It's super rad.
I'm gonna have to hunt those down at some point because I love the Magnet Warriors back in the day. That was like my favorite. I remember I still remember the episode of Battle City where it's the second double duel one where it's Yugi and Kaiba versus the mask guys up on the top of the
Oh,
skyscraper, and He summons Valkyrian in that. I always was like, that's cool.
That yeah, he is fucking sweet.
It's like one of those
Uh
rare fusion monsters where you don't need a polymerization.
oh yeah, and Kaiba had those ones too. The XYZ dragon cannon, you
Mm,
just like banish them or whatever. You just need to have like Y dragon head. Oh, what is it? X head cannon and Z metal tank. There we go.
yeah,
Those
that
were
was a
fun as fuck too. They all had like their own separate forms as well too, like XY dragon head or something stupid. Those were cool. That was a cool deck too.
Did you ever pull off a Exodia play?
Not in real life. I
No.
in Legacy of the Duelist, I had a pretty fucking cheesy Exodia deck, but not in real life though.
So I did it once, like back in middle school. Like I just lucked into it. I was like, I had four of the cards, and I just happened to draw it, and I was like, I'm gonna ruin this kid's day right here. It's
Oh
not
my
nearly as
god.
it's not nearly as entertaining in real life as it was in the anime. I will say that.
It's just you just draw it and you're like, "Oh shit, I guess I win."
You,
Sorry
you don't
guys.
you
Pack
don't
it up.
just like you don't dramatically place all your cards on the playing field and be like, "Hey guys, I just summoned Exodia," and it's like, no, you're just like,
Exodia, obliterate, and then he just fucking nukes the dude across the table from you.
"Yep." I always remember that because I was always like, "Oh, this will be so cool. I'm gonna summon an Exodia," and then you do it once, and you're like, "Oh, the game just ends," and you don't even feel that great about it. You took the cheap way out. You didn't even try.
Yeah, at least in like Master Duel, they have cool little animations for when you play certain
Mm,
cards. Like they have one for Exodia. Like when you summon, uh, I guess like popular cards or like boss monsters, they'll have like a summon animation cut in, which is kind of cool. So like we summon Blue Eyes or Dark Magician, they'll have like this little animation thing with that plays, which is pretty cool.
I remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition on the Game Boy Advance. That was like the one that was basically just
Oh yeah, just Battle City basically.
yeah. I had so got lucky when I picked the starter deck and I got the one that had Exodia in it. I used to like I used to practice on Mokuba because he was the easiest person to fight, and I just like nuke him with Exodia all the time just because.
Oh man, what's I'm trying to I can't find where my Discord is anymore. But what's that one Yu-Gi-Oh game on PS1? Forbidden
Oh,
Memories.
Forbidden Memories.
Oh my
That
fucking god. That
fucking unnecessarily hard that game.
the fucking and the fusions. No, they
You could
didn't
fuse
explain.
anything. You could
Yeah,
fuse anything.
and they didn't explain any of it at all. It was just like it had to be like the right like moon cycle or something stupid, and then you fuse them together and they'll make like whatever. And you had to like hope and like pray to the gods and do your Hail Marys that you get something good.
It's funny too because you could go to the card shop and literally like put the code in for any card, but it was like they were all like unnecessarily expensive, and it was like,
Yep.
oh great, can't buy anything because making money in that game sucked.
God, that game just fucking sucks.
I'm nostalgically I love it because like that was like one of the first real Yu-Gi-Oh things I ever had back in the day. Because I still think that game has a slamming soundtrack for whatever reason. Um, but yeah, the game itself is not good. Most Yu-Gi-Oh games don't play very good in terms of actual in terms of actual note for note like to the
Yeah.
actual game rules. A lot of the story based ones don't really follow the rules very well.
Yeah, they keep trying to change it up. Like there was that period of time where like yeah, there was one exclusive to PS2, one exclusive to
Duelist,
GameCube,
yep.
and then like one for the Xbox.
Duelist of the Rose. That game I still will defend because that's like a tactical game for no reason, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, like the one for the GameCube, the Falsebound Kingdom, that one's like a turn-based RPG,
That one
and you
doesn't
could
even have the cards. It's just like a straight up
it's just the
RPG.
monsters. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have a team of like fucking Great Moth, Feral Imp, and Dark Magician and whoop ass, but what was the one for Xbox?
Uh, I own it. So the one for Xbox wasn't story based. It's actually the best of all of these because it actually follows the rules. What is it called though? I have it. I can't remember. It is Dawn of Destiny.
Dawn of Destiny. Okay.
Really good graphics in that one because Xbox.
Yeah.
I remember it being just a pretty standard simulation of the game, though. There wasn't a lot like crazy with that one. Did you ever play the GBA story games though, the ones that were like RPGs?
I don't think so. I know I played the one that you mentioned earlier.
So there was a worldwide edition, which was basically a simulation of the game. There was also so there was the Sacred Cards. That was the one that literally followed Battle City, like note for note, like story wise. But you played as like your own character that kind of inserted himself into the plot.
Oh, I didn't play that one. That sounds fucking sweet.
It's pretty good. It's extremely easy though. Like it's like almost pathetically easy, which is hilarious because it had a direct sequel called Yu-Gi-Oh! Like it has this weird fucking name. Um, Reshef of Destruction. Um, and that one is fun because that one's like an alternate universe, like follow up to the Battle City arc, where it rather than doing the Waking the Dragon shit, it's like this weird like arc where Pegasus comes back and he's like super evil for no reason. Um, but this one I remember being bizarre because like they basically must have taken all the complaints about Sacred Cards being too easy and they made this one unnecessarily hard for no reason.
Man. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to play these. These look pretty fucking cool.
They're pretty interesting. Like the GBA was fucking stacked with Yu-Gi-Oh games for whatever reason. Like I think there was like 12 of them
I think yeah, that
because they had
oh
all
yeah.
those tournament release ones. There was like Tournament 2002, Tournament 2003. It was like, but they were just basically simulators of the game. They didn't really do anything too super crazy.
Did you ever play the one on Game Boy Color?
Oh,
I f-
I own it. I can't remember the name. So all of the Yu-Gi-Oh games have dumb names. Um, what
I'm gonna
is
look
it
it up real
called?
quick.
Oh, Dark Duel Stories.
Arc Dual Stories. Yep, okay.
That one didn't follow the rules either.
No, yeah, that one also sucked. It came with good cards though. Like it came with Seiryu and I
that
forget.
That's how I got my Magnet Warriors because they came with the Duelist of the Rose.
Yep, yep, yep. God damn, what fuck. And then was it yeah, the only ones I had for GBA were the worldwide edition thing and then the Dungeon Dice Monsters one, which sucks really,
There
really hard.
was
Um,
also the board game one. God, what was it called?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
There's one.
Board game.
There's one that's straight up a board game.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Um,
Board game, GBA. Ooh, Destiny Board Traveler?
Destiny Board Traveler. That game is a piece of shit, but I like it because it's fucking stupid.
The sprites look fucking cool though.
Yeah,
Wait,
GBA.
yeah, yeah, they look awesome. It looks like Yu-Gi-Oh! If it was Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Mm, no, it looks great. The game just plays terribly because it's a
Damn
board
it.
game.
Oh,
Um,
that sucks.
the DS also had one that I love just because of its name alone. Nightmare Troubadour.
It is
Like that's just
it's
a great name.
unnecessarily anime as hell.
Yeah. I think after that, the rest of them were all like they. That's when they kind of went on to GX. So I stopped collecting them at that point because I think I just fell out of love with Yu-Gi-Oh around then.
Yeah, I didn't play any of them on the DS or the 3DS. I didn't play any of the games until there was one on the 360 that I think was just Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and then after that, Legacy of the Duelist, and then they re-released that like fucking 5 times, and,
Yeah.
um, I I mean, I feel like you might like, uh, what's the what the fuck? Master Duel, I feel like you might like and it's free. Master Duel's
Mm,
free, and they give out shit tons of like free in-game currency all the time. Like you could sneeze
yeah.
violently, and the game will be like, "Oh, dog, I hope you're okay. Here's 400 gems. Hope you feel better."
I downloaded the one for Switch as well. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard that one's pretty good.
Is that uh it's not mastered, like, it's not the free one, right?
No, it's like I can't remember what it's called. I have it digitally. I didn't buy the physical for it.
Oh, it's probably Legacy of the Duelist, but, like, with some other weird,
I
uh,
don't.
subtitle to it, I think.
Yeah, probably like that. I saw it. It looked pretty good graphically and like gameplay wise. I just like most of my Switch collection. I just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, I get that. They made another one for Switch, um, I forget what the name of it is. It's based off of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens and, like, how Sevens, basically created its own, like, whole new fucking format, so, like, forget everything you fucking know now, 'cause there's, like, brand new cards to it, and, like, they changed everything. It's like I think it's called, like, a speed duel or something, not to be confused with the dumb fucking turbo duels from 5Ds where you ride on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
Speed duels, it's like you can summon as many monsters as you want a turn, but you only get, like, your deck is only, like, 12 cards or something. It's I don't understand it. I don't I don't know.
yeah, some weird craziness. Um, Going back, do you remember the dual discs?
Yes. Fuck
Did
yeah.
did, did you
I had
have
the
one of them?
I had the dark one, the dark dual disc, I think is what it was called. The one where, like, it instead of coming out like, where it's like, it's the dark one where it just, like, came out like
Yeah, and it wasn't. They didn't even bother to motorize it. You just had to pull it out and be like, look at me.
Oh my
I
god,
still
so
remember.
cool.
I remember recess of elementary school playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh out on the fucking playground with
Dude,
two dual discs and being like, "We are cool."
then you had to, like, shout at the something to what you're
Yeah.
doing, like, I'm playing this. What does that do? Oh, let me shout the text over to you or something."
Oh, and I loved it because you get so dramatic and like get really into it, and everyone just be looking at you like, "What are you doing?" It's
Oh,
like I'm
dude,
playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
give it one of these draws where you're just like, "I draw." And you stand there for, like, 15 minutes like
The best is when they pulled it out too intensely, and they accidentally drop the card, it flies away, and then they're chasing it down the field.
Oh, yeah. They didn't hold cards very well at all. Like, the especially, like, the no, the field spell, you, like no, fuck the field spell part because it had, like, the little piece that came out, and you put your card in, and it would, like, crinkle your card. It would, like, get stuck in the
Yep.
hinges or whatever. Fuck that piece.
Yeah, those things sucked. Like I think I used mine like for like a year, and then I was like, this is dumb. This is a novelty. Like I don't want to play like Yu-Gi-Oh with this thing on my wrist.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It they I wish they would make a way of, giving, like, the holograms and shit that this show does, but no, we'll never have that.
I wish they did like the original dual discs, like the one from like season one that was like an actual disc.
Oh, yeah, the thing that looked like a bop it where they throw it at the ground or not a bop it, a skip it, and they, like, throw it at the
Yeah.
ground, and it just spins and shit.
I always remember that one because like Pegasus's whole line of like he's like, oh, do I throw it like a disc or do I spin it like a top? And it's like this guy just doesn't give a shit at all. The
Oh
best
my
was
god.
when you had you'd have like the one person who like had the dual disc and was just like so adamant about using the dual disc, but you like just wanted to use the mat. So like you're sitting at a table with a mat and they're just like standing there with their dual disc, and it's like, yep. It's like this is straight up Kaiba versus Pegasus.
I've never come across that, that sounds hilarious. Dude, please just fucking sit down so we can play this fucking game with cardboard, dude.
It's like, buddy, we're in class. It's like, no, I'm standing up to play this.
Oh, that's rich.
Yeah, that was a different time because like, do they still make dual discs, or is that like
No,
a that is a long
no,
dead
I
fad?
doubt it. It's gotta be long dead.
They must have made like a killing off of those fucking things.
Dude, I bet.
Because I know they'd made the ones from GX because GX had their own special ones at one point.
Oh yeah. I want to find those real fast. What was the school even called? Or I'm just gonna go GX dual disc. That's not what I want. There we go. I don't even think they could make new dual discs now, because like in what is it, Arc 5? Yeah, Arc 5, the dual disc is just like this circle that's on your wrist, and then it shoots out this like beam of light, and your cards go on the beam of light or something stupid. So
Yeah, now it's
they
all
ruined that. They killed it.
now it's all artsy fartsy, and there's like no real fun behind it anymore. Like the classic Yu-Gi-Oh is just fun. Like that's the thing I feel like the modern show is kind of lost.
Yeah, they keep trying to like invent or reinvent like how duels work and make them more exciting, because like GX was cool because it at least just kept regular ass duels, but like 5Ds had the dumb fucking, well, they still had duels on foot, had normal rules, but then they had the dumb fucking uh turbo duels where they're on the motorcycles, and
Yep.
you can't use normal spells, you can only use speed spells. And then Zexel was all right because it used regular rules. Um,
Yeah,
what
GX
Arc?
was kind of
Yeah.
GX was kind of like they were like, let's just make a school anime, and it was like, okay, sure. It kind of worked. I mean, I like the irony that you can tell that Kaiba is the one that made this school because he made the obelisk class the best one.
Yeah, that's true. Give me 1 second. I gotta get this baby really quick. I'll be right back.
Yep, no worries.
Ow. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yep, sound
Okay.
good.
I might have to call it here because my baby is sick and he's being crazy.
Yeah, no worries. We were pretty much we got most of it. We were gonna cover it. We were basically just rambling at this point, anyways.
Right on.
Um, so yeah, I guess at this point, this is where I'll have Aaron plug any of his stuff that he would like to share.
Right on. Yeah. If anybody wants to listen to Superpod Saga, it's just superpodsaga.com. You find all of our previous episodes, our blog, our social medias, all that stuff. Just open up any browser you have, superpodsaga.com.
Nice. And I'll be sure to put all the links in the description for the episode. And with that, guys, once again, thanks for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. The Gaming and Collecting Podcast can be found on all your major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can find all of our links at linktree/the Barber Games. And if you'd like to join the GNC Podcast Discord server, it is fully open and available to anybody. And with that, guys, we will see you all next time.